guys, welcome to my third video in the Learn How to Crochet series. So in part 1, we learned how to slip knot and how to make a chain. In part 2, we learned how to make our first row and then how to transition up to our second and third row and how to make the single crochet stitch. So I just kept working on that and made up a little square of single crochet stitch so you can kind of see how it looks all worked up, which is kind of cool, right? All right, so now I'm going to show you in this video how to end a project. So how to cut off, tie off, and weave in your ends and how to end your project. But for now, let me draw your attention to why do I have a bobby pin at the end of my crochet project. And that is a tip on something that I do if I am in the middle of a project and have to leave it. You know, I have my own office that no one's really going to come in, but I am a worrywart and I have anxiety and I'm always like, oh, what if somebody goes and tugs on it? Or, you know, if you have pets or something and they pull on your project. So what happens in crochet, and I kind of told y'all in the second video, is that this is not, it can come all apart. If you pull on this yarn, this whole thing unravels until you tie off, okay? So let me show you that. Let me remove my little brace here. So, well, actually first, so a tip is to keep, well, let me show you what happens, I guess, if you don't have it first. All right, so someone comes along, your pet, your toddler, you accidentally, right, you grab it and you pull the end of your yarn. Oh, it's all unraveling. And then you come back and your project is not how you left it. So that's a problem, especially the more you are working on it or the more complicated your stitches are. So let me finish this back up, kind of repair what we did, and then I will show you how to protect that from happening and then how to finish off your project. Okay. So some people just end it and then they're going to leave for a moment or whatever when they're not done with their project, and they just kind of pull up a big stitch and hope that that will help, because if someone comes and pulls on it, oh, not much is happening, right? But I am, like I said, I'm paranoid, so I like to take the extra precaution of putting something on the end. And it can be a bobby pin, it can be a paper clip, it can be these little clips that you can buy, like a little safety pin. It can be really whatever goes on to the end, but I like bobby pins. They're just easy and fast, and I always have them around. So what happens is someone's coming along and pulling on it. Oop, it's not going to come undone, okay? So that kind of, for me, is that little added peace of mind. All right, now let me take the bobby pin out and show you how to end a project. We just kind of wanted to squeeze in that little tip, and I'll probably make a video of that later on how to leave a project or store a project that you're not finished. But for now, you've ended this project, okay? You've made your little coaster, whatever you're going to make. You're done. Okay, last thing you do is put one more chain in and pull it through, okay? And then you need a pair of scissors or, well, scissors, razor, something to snip it off, okay? So you snip off the end, okay? And then you pull through like that, and you tie off, and that's just called tying off. And so now you can see, you can tug on this all you want. It is stable. This one's stable. And so now your project is done. It's completed, okay? But you have these goofy ends, okay? And I cut this one really long. You don't need it that long. Let me cut it a little bit shorter. And then I'll show you how to weave in the ends. I'm going to cut the tail end a little bit shorter too. Depending on your project size, like if it's a blanket, I might have left the tail and the end long and weaved it in. So to weave in your ends, you either need a yarn needle, so it looks like this, or you can even do it with the crochet hook. Let me show you both ways. So let's do it on top with a needle. So you just thread the end of your yarn through the needle. Okay, like that. And then you're just going to work the needle. Let me do it this way. You're just going to work it through a couple of stitches one in the project, okay? So you're gonna kind of in through there, in, and kind of weave it, okay? Weaving it through. Okay, and then you're gonna pull. And see, it just kind of tucked it into the project. And then you can snip off that little end there. Real close to the work. Okay, so that was with a needle. You just weaved it back through. If you don't have a yarn needle, don't even worry about it. You can use a crochet hook. So how I would do it in this instance is just go in and pull that little piece of yarn through. Okay, and then you have a choice. You can either do it going this way or down, really however you want it. It doesn't matter. You're just pushing your hook through, grabbing your yarn, pulling it through, and do that a couple of times and work that end in. Okay, you're just weaving the ends in and out. Okay, so a little easier with the needle, but it is definitely not necessary. Let's do one more. Okay, and then you snip it a little close to the project. Well, I'm gonna cut it all. Okay, so you weaved in your ends, you crocheted them in, or weaved in your ends, and you're left with your project without any funny ends. Okay, so that is how you end a crochet project. You cut it off, you chain one, you pull it through, you cut it off, and you weave in your ends. Okay, so thanks for joining me today. I hope this helped you out, and I hope that you are on your way to crochet love and making lots of awesome crochet projects. All right, bye guys.